Autoline Daily is brought to you by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Here are today's top headlines. The lawsuits against Toyota are really starting to pile up. The government will look into cosmic rays as a possible cause of unintended acceleration, and then I give my opinion of how to really fix it. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Tuesday, March 16, 2010, and now the news. No matter which way this unintended acceleration story goes, it is going to end up costing Toyota a lot of money. Now, several dozen Toyota owners in Arizona and Washington are suing the company, demanding full refunds for their cars. Many others are demanding reimbursements worth 6% to 15% because they say their resale value has fallen that much since the recall started. The Associated Press reports there are now 101 class action lawsuits filed against Toyota, and even if the company only handed out $500 per customer, it would still cost it $3 billion. And the Detroit Free Press reports that government investigators are now looking into cosmic rays as a cause of sudden unintended acceleration. It's what they call single event upsets. Aerospace firms have been aware of this potential problem and robustly designed their electronics to avoid it. The Freep says automakers have not designed for it, but I would hasten to point out that unintended acceleration cases have been around before electronics were ever put in cars, so what caused it back then? And now Toyota's problems are affecting its customer loyalty. Kelley Blue Book found that Toyota slipped from the top spot in terms of brand loyalty to number 3. Hyundai moved up to the number 1 spot, and Honda stayed place in second. The UAW is urging Congress not to derail legislation that would allow the EPA to set national standards for fuel economy and tailpipe emissions. According to the Detroit News, the union is concerned that if the EPA is barred from setting standards, especially for CO2, automakers would be faced with meeting multiple standards in different states. Last year, the Obama administration struck a deal with automakers and states to set a national standard, which must be finalized by the 1st of April. Republicans and several other states are trying to block the effort, arguing it will cause economic harm. According to the Detroit News, former General Motors CEO Fritz Henderson has been hired by Alex Partners, a Michigan-based consulting firm. This is his second high-profile consulting job since leaving the automaker last December. Henderson will not handle any matters regarding Motors liquidation, the bankrupt part of GM that Alex Partners handles. And according to Alex Partners, he will work as an independent contractor on a part-time basis. His compensation was not disclosed. Wards reports that V6 and V8 engines lost ground in the U.S. market last year. The installation rate of these power plants fell to 57%, down from almost 64% in 2008. Four-cylinder engines dominated the passenger car market, powering almost 62% of new cars sold. You know, this is a huge shift from Detroit's glory days in the late 1960s, when V8s were installed in almost 90% of all new cars. And in related news, Ford just revealed more fuel economy stats for the 2011 Mustang. A week or two ago, the company released the numbers for the V6 version of the car. With 305 horsepower, it delivers 19 miles per gallon in the city and 29 on the highway when matched with a 6-speed manual transmission. Equipped with a 6-speed automatic, the number improves to 19 and 31. The big deal today is that the brand new 5-liter V8 will sticker at 17 in the city and 26 on the highway with a manual gearbox, and 18 city, 25 highway with the automatic. Not too bad for a car with 412 horsepower. Coming up next, I'll give you my suggestions on how to fix unintended acceleration. You know, with a few easy fixes, automakers could pretty much get rid of these problems with unintended acceleration and protect themselves from future lawsuits. They're not going to get rid of it entirely because it is caused mostly by human error. I know that's an unpopular view, but after exhaustive tests, no automaker, not NHTSA, not any of the suppliers who make these systems, no independent laboratories, or any academics have ever been able to find them. Never. And I'm here to tell you they never will because they don't exist. We saw the same thing happen 25 years ago when Audi went through the same unintended acceleration hysteria. Everyone was positive there was some defect in the cars, but exhaustive testing proved it was simply driver error, or what NHTSA calls pedal misapplication. And that calls for a simple design fix. All you have to do is provide a bigger gap between the gas and brake pedals. Today, most cars have a 2 to 3 inch gap. It has to be widened. Research will show how big a gap it should be so drivers won't mistakenly hit the gas, especially if they have big feet or are wearing winter boots. The difference in the planes between the two pedals also has to be increased. Again, most cars have a 2 to 3 inch difference in the planes. By increasing that, drivers will know simply by how much they have to bend their knee to put their foot on the brake, which pedal they're pressing. In addition, all cars need to be fitted with a brake override system where the engine drops to idle if it is wide open and the driver applies the brakes. Many cars already have this feature, but they all need them. And all cars need to be fitted with black boxes so that it's easy to reconstruct what caused an accident. And automakers need to design these black boxes to identify when the gas pedal is pushed down by the driver. I don't mean capturing the signal to the electronic throttle control. I mean capturing when the driver physically pushes down on the pedal. This will give automakers the proof they need when drivers simply make a mistake, or conversely, if I'm wrong, it could give drivers the evidence they need to prove the car ran out of control on its own. But I'm confident this will prove that driver error is at the heart of the problem. After all, it is an issue that has been around for decades and one that affects almost all models from all automakers. And that is it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.